Communication. We know that effective communication skills, both written and spoken, are essential for sharing ideas, information, opinion, giving feedback, building relations, and advancing knowledge. As teachers, we can enhance our students' communication skills by utilizing both synchronous and asynchronous digital tools. Let us get acquainted with these terms. Synchronous communication means real time interactions such as face to face meeting during a phone call or video conferencing. Here, the interaction between the speaker and listener happens in real time. The exchange of messages between the sender and the receiver happens at the same time. Asynchronous communication, on the other hand, includes modes of communications like emails, text messages, and discussion forums where responses are delayed. Here, information can be exchanged anytime at the convenience of participants. Since it does not require the recipient's immediate attention, they are free to respond to the messages at their convenience. Effective communication is essential for fostering a productive learning environment. With the integration of technology in education, understanding the nuances of synchronous and asynchronous communication modes is crucial. As mentioned, each mode offers unique benefits and challenges that teachers should be aware of to maximize student engagement and learning outcomes. Let us look at them in detail. Synchronous communication. Commonly used tools for synchronous communications are Zoom, Google Meet, or MS Teams, since these facilitate real time discussions, interactions, and help teachers provide immediate feedback. These tools can be used to help students to practice speaking and listening skills with immediate feedback and engagement. This type of communication can be used to develop fluency and spontaneous use of language. For example, teachers can host live virtual discussions or debates to engage students in real time conversations. One of the most commonly used mode of synchronous communication is video conferencing. Video conferencing. Holding a conference among people located at different places with the help of audio and visual transmission is video conferencing. The world is increasingly becoming global and people are breaking boundaries in the quest for advancement. In this pursuit, video conferencing is one of the most valuable tools for connecting and bridging distances. It can connect more than two people in real time and effectively address a wide audience. Over the last few years, video conferencing has significantly increased in India owing to the availability of low cost mobile phones and affordable data. However, there are several other reasons behind the growth in the use of video conferencing in the educational domain. The most practical reason is the economic perspective wherein money and time are saved. The best available resource persons and experts from the world can connect with the students with the help of video conferencing without having to bear travel expenses or wasting time in traveling, giving the students an in person experience without going through all the unnecessary hassle. It also saves time by providing an alternative to the chain of emails with lengthy and sometimes confusing messages with a single platform where you can bring everyone on the same page in a few minutes, avoiding any delay in responses. When it comes to communicating, most of us are better at processing visual information over textual and oral, and video conferencing caters to that. We can see the person we are talking to and a direct and spontaneous exchange is possible. The chances of miscommunications are reduced to a large extent, which is one of the drawbacks of written messages, as the tone is not evident in textual form. In other words, it allows the participants to pick on verbal and non-verbal cues that were only believed to be possible in the classroom. The teachers can also present visual information while connected to their students by presenting their screens. It also comes with the option of recording the sessions. Therefore, students can go through the recordings or transcripts at their own pace when required. However, permission should be taken before recording any video conference. Virtual live events have been made possible due to video conferencing. Some of the most popular and free video conferencing platforms are Zoom, Google Hangouts, Skype, LiveSize Go, Dialpad Meetings, Slack video calls, True Conference Online, Free Conference, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Microsoft Teams. Effective use of video conferencing. The teacher may make video conferencing very effective for the classroom using some of the following ways. The teacher can make the class interesting and enlightening by bringing experts to their classroom. It brings authenticity to the classroom to move beyond textbook and meet real people who reflect on the topic being studied. It becomes easier and more comfortable for the experts to take time for a virtual meeting to share their views. While teaching a poem like Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda as teachers, we communicate one of its messages regarding the destruction caused by the wars. Yet, this message will resonate with them far more effectively if a war veteran attests to it. We may use our contacts, if any, and connect this person with our students through the screen. Similarly, instead of telling students about careers related to the subject, we can connect them to editors, professors, translators, researchers, etc., who will share their career journeys and provide useful insights to the students. This is an excellent way of organizing career talks, and some professionals might be able to give a tour of their workplace to the students. Virtual field trips and visits can be organized without worrying about permission forms or finance. The students can be at their homes or classroom and have a rich experience in art museums, national parks, farms, and space. As video conferencing enables two-way communication, that is, synchronous learning, it can be used to facilitate small group discussions among students. This will also teach them about netiquettes or online etiquettes, about taking turns and systematically presenting their point of view. Teachers can create opportunities for the students to present their works and evaluate each other's work. Studies have shown that when students get the opportunity to teach, they retain and comprehend the subject matter better, which should be used in virtual scenarios. It will create a space for collaboration among teachers and students. They will be more attentive and will enthusiastically participate. At the same time, they will be exposed to some of the basics of the world of work, where video conferencing for meetings is a standard feature. Teachers can also connect to parents through video conferencing, which saves times and serves the purpose. The parents also learn the benefit and drawbacks of using video conferencing and will be more aware of how their children use technology. Role of a learner. When using the tools and platforms mentioned above, the students must actively participate and take center stage to understand and gain from the sessions. They should keep the following things in mind. Number 1. The course material related to day's activity should be read beforehand if the teacher considers it a prerequisite for the session. If the students neglect these instructions, they will be unable to attain the learning meant and planned for them. Number 2. While they are engaged in a video conference, they must take down notes instead of relying on recordings. They should write down their thoughts or the summary of the session in their own words to help assimilate and synthesize the important points immediately after the session. Number 3. The students should be active listeners. Only when they listen intently can they raise doubts and ask questions for better understanding. If they are not listening attentively, they would miss out on important particulars and might also repeat questions already raised by others. They will learn how to listen patiently to contradictory points of view on online platforms and answer logically in agreement or disagreement. Key considerations. Preparation. Ensure you are familiar with the video conferencing tool you are using like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, etc. Test your equipment, camera, microphone, internet connection before the session. Prepare your materials and have a clear agenda or lesson plan. Engagement. Use interactive elements like polls, question and answer sessions, chat box, and breakout rooms to keep students engaged. Engage participation by asking questions and prompting discussions. Monitor the chat box for questions and comments and address them promptly. Management. Set clear guidelines for behavior during the sessions. For example, muting microphones when not speaking, raising hands to speak. Manage time effectively to cover all the planned content and activities. Record sessions, if possible and appropriate, for students who cannot attend. Accessibility. Ensure all students have access to the necessary technology and internet connectivity. Provide alternative ways for students to participate if they cannot join live. For example, viewing recorded sessions. Benefits: immediate feedback and clarification of doubts. Real-time interaction fostering a sense of community and connection. Challenges: requires reliable internet and technology. Can be difficult to sustain a student's interest during longer sessions. Now let us move to the next mode of communication. Asynchronous communication. Please recall in the previous sections we have already said that asynchronous communication occurs without real-time interaction. That is, people can send or respond to messages anytime at their convenience. Such communication include emails, discussion boards, chats, recorded lectures, and other content that students can access at their convenience. Asynchronous communication can be implemented using simple tools such as WhatsApp and Google Classroom to enable ongoing conversations and resource sharing. This format provides students with the time to plan, reflect, and compose their message carefully, allowing them to consciously apply language rules. Asynchronous communication can enhance students' writing skills, and since it allows flexibility in terms of time to think and respond, and reduces pressure, students can prepare well before speaking, speak longer, be careful about using correct grammar and pronunciation. Secondly, since these tools allow one to delete and edit and re-upload their responses, they can also be used to promote self-correction and independent learning. Clearly, both modes complement each other, offering a blended approach to language learning by catering to different needs and learning paces of ESL students. An example is a class WhatsApp group for continuous question and answering sessions. Such tools also ensure that communication remains accessible for all students. They can use such conversations to revise before exams. Key considerations: clarity. Provide clear instructions and expectations for all asynchronous activities. Use concise and understandable language to avoid confusion. Content delivery. Ensure that all materials are easily accessible and organized. Use a variety of formats, videos, readings, quizzes to cater to different learning styles. Feedback. Provide timely and constructive feedback on assignments and participation. Use discussion boards and forums to facilitate ongoing communication and peer interaction. Flexibilities. Allow students to complete tasks at their own pace within a given time frame. Be mindful of students' other commitments and time constraints. Benefits: flexibility for students to engage with materials at their own pace. Opportunities for thoughtful reflection and deeper analysis. Challenges: lack of immediate feedback and interaction. Students may feel isolated or less motivated without real-time engagement. Blending synchronous and asynchronous modes for an effective learning experience. Combining synchronous and asynchronous modes can help design a balanced and optimized learning experience for all students. For example, use synchronous sessions for discussions, questions and answers, and interactive activities, while asynchronous modes can be used to share materials that can support learning with time for deeper content exploration and reflection. Key considerations: consistency. Maintain a constant schedule for synchronous sessions. Pause frequently to take frequent breaks during synchronous sessions and ask a question to ensure students are learning. Set clear deadlines for asynchronous tasks. Communicate regularly to students to keep them informed and engaged during asynchronous sessions. Technology integration. Utilize integrated learning management systems, LMS, like Google Classroom with Google Meet, Canvas, or Moodle to organize and deliver both synchronous and asynchronous content efficiently. Explore various digital tools that enhance both communication modes, discussion forums, collaborative documents, and multimedia content. Understanding the strengths and limitations of synchronous and asynchronous communication modes can help you create a more effective and inclusive learning environment based on your students' needs. By thoughtfully integrating both approaches, we can cater to diverse learning needs, learning styles, foster engagement, and support student learning. Thank you.